Now that you are a pro at coding in absolute, I'm going to teach you how to code in relative. So again, if you go to the next number in the Schoology page, you should find this assignment. Go ahead and make a copy of this, and then we can start working on it. But again, here's your reference file. We are going to do the same image that we did before, but we're going to do it in relative. And some people find relative to be a lot easier. Some people find it to be a lot harder. So take a look and you can decide for yourself. We are first going to start at the same way, n0, 0. And relative coordinates this time, relative, if you look on here, is incremental, or relative coordinates is G91. So that's a G91. And inch mode, if you remember from last time, was a G20. Setting the spindle speed, if we go back over, turning the spindle on is MO3. Spindle speed is S5500. Next it says to rapid move the spindle to 0.1 above the part. Well, here's the thing with relative. We are starting, just as always, we're starting our mill bit, engraver bit, so that it is exactly 0.1 above the center of the yo-yo. That's how we load it into the mill. So it's already at that point. Relative, if you tell this to move z.1, it's going to move up 0.1. It does not know coordinates. It only says move in this direction, this distance. So if we do z.1, it's actually going to raise it up to 0.2 because we're starting at 0.1. So we are already at this position. So I'm actually not going to do anything with this one. So now where it says to rapid to above point A, this is the time where you no longer can kind of type in along with me, because remember, you're going to be doing this image here and I'm doing this image. So if I want to move to A, I'm not going to look at these coordinates anymore. So you do not look at those. We just need to look left, right, and then up or down. So I need to move left 2 and up 4, or left 2 units, which is 0.2, and up 0.4. So if I'm going left 0.2, that's x negative 0.2 and y 0.4. Coincidentally, since I'm starting at 0, 0, that is the actual set of coordinates for A. But just keep watching because it's going to change. So I'm going to go down here to rapid above. So I'm going to call this my N06. And rapid, remember, is G00. 0. And I'm going to go x negative 0.2, y 0.4. Now I need to plunge. So when I'm plunging, I need to plunge at a specific feed rate. So that's a G01. And my feed speed is F10. If I want to plunge to minus 0.03, I am starting at 0.1. So if I go down 0.1, I'm touching the top. And if I go down another 0.03, I'm into the yo-yo. So I need to actually go down minus 0.13. The minus 0.1 takes me to the top, and the additional 300ths takes me 300ths into the material. So that is an important thing that you do. If we want to plunge to minus 0.03, we actually have to do a z minus 0.13 because we're starting a tenth above. All right, now we're at point A, and now I want to go to point B at a feed speed of 20, so I can set that right off the bat. I can do N10, and to get to B, again, we're not looking at the coordinates. I need to go right 2. So x 0.2, that's it. That's all I'm doing to get to B. So we'll go x 0.2. There is no y, so I don't even need to type it in. So now let's go N12. Now this time I'm going clockwise from B to C. And to get to C, I don't go right or left any, I go down 0.4. So I have x nothing, but I have a y negative 0.4. So it's a clockwise is G02, y negative 0.4. And now I need to find my center point. This is usually what gives people problems. Your center point is relative to where you started. So I started at B. I want to find my center point at D. So I'm not going right or left anywhere. I'm going down 0.2. So my I is 0. My J is negative 0.2 because I'm going down in the Y direction. So I say I0, J negative 0.2. And we're going to give an I and a J because we need to know where the center point is. So you need to have your I and your J in there. So again, my center is right or left nowhere, but down 0.2. From B, my center is right or left nowhere, but down 0.2. That's what I'm looking at. So now I'm at C. I'm going to go to F. And to get to F, I go down another 0.4 around a center, which is down 0.2. So it's kind of the same thing. My N14, I go down another 0.4 around a center that is down another 0.2. So as you can see, sometimes it can be a little bit faster. It looks like I went from B to C to F. I'm here now, and now I'm going to go left 0.2 to get to G. And we can delete some of these. These are actually going to be for your assignment, not for this one. So I have an N16, and I'm going to do a G01 because I'm going in a straight line, and it said left negative 0.2, negative meaning left. And the last thing I do is go up, and to go up, I'm going up 8 units because I'm at minus 0.4 to 0.4 is 8 units up. So I go up in the y direction 0.8. So the last one is my N18, and I'm going y 0.8. So now I need to raise the spindle to 0.1. Well, if I'm at minus 0.13, I'm 3/100ths down. So if I want to go back up to 0.1 above and I'm 3/100ths down, I need to do a z that is a positive 0.13. And that will get me back up to my initial position of 0.1 above. So that's an N20. And next I need to stop the spindle. That's the same code as before, M05. And we can look again at the reference if you can't remember. Spindle off is M05. And M02 is end the program. I'm going to need that in just a minute. This is clear arm by moving to X1, Y1, Z1. Well, my exact position right now is not quite at 0, 0. It's up here a little bit. But the goal is just to get it out of the way. So I don't need to move it to the exact coordinates, 1, 1, 1. I'd have to do a little bit of math to figure that out, and that would be fine. But for what we're trying to do here is just move it out of the way. And so I can rapid, and I can just move it from wherever it is an inch in all directions. And that will clear it and move it out of the way, which is what my goal is. So you don't need to actually calculate how far in the X, Y, and Z to get to the absolute coordinates 1, 1, 1. We're not really concerned about that. We just want to move it out of the way. And last stop program was M02. So that is relative. Now your assignment, what you're going to need to do is do relative for these coordinates. And you're going from B to C around D. So remember, to get to D, that I and J for this point is not going to be 0, 0. It's relative from B, where is D, and so on. So go ahead and give that a shot, and we'll see how you do.